So this is going to be a fascinating take, because I'm going to be talking about a video game I don't think people remember. Like, I really don't think people remember this video game because it was part of that slew of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World merchandise. If you thought the JP merchandise was big now with Jurassic World, it was massive in the 90s with the Lost World and Jurassic Park merchandise. And video games were one of those major things. One was Jurassic Park Warpath. Jurassic Park Warpath was kind of Jurassic Park's attempt to cash in on, well, Mortal fighting games, which were big. Obviously, the big thing was Mortal Kombat at the time. Everyone wanted a fighting game. Hell, The Simpsons and Sonic did a fighting game. I'm not lying. That happened. So, Jurassic Park Warpath was a cool but flawed game. It introduced, like, our first, I wouldn't say canon, but we had the Carcharodontosaurus, we had the Giganotosaurus before they showed up in either the Jurassic Park Evolution game or Jurassic World Dominion. We also had, like, the Styracosaurus. You had herbivores, you had carnivores, you had the Acrocanthosaurus you had as another carnivore. It wasn't just T-Rex and the dinosaurs you saw in the series. And I've been kind of thinking to myself, wouldn't it be fun if they brought this game back? Like, if they updated it and called it Jurassic World Warpath. Or something of that nature. Fighting games are always popular. Let's be real on that. Let's be honest with that. Fighting games are and always will be a fan favorite. They will always have a major fan base no matter what. Let's just be honest on that. Now, the thing of it is that what if you could bring it back and make a bigger roster, put in more game and more story and more field? Could it work? I honestly believe a new call it Jurassic World Warpath. I think a new Warpath game could totally work. We've discovered more dinosaurs. We've been to more places in the Jurassic World universe for stages. It really does lend itself. So let me talk about my pitch for a new Jurassic World Warpath game. So obviously, let's talk about the roster. The roster is going to be bigger, and this time around, we're going to have obviously the T-Rex and the Jurassic Park T-Rex. We're going to have Rexy, but you could I'd have you give her alternate skins to make her look like the Buck or the Doe or Big Edie and Little Edie from the other parts of the franchise. I would even have you could give her a skin that makes her like Jurassic Park. I mean, dinosaur accurate T-Rex, like more paleological accurate, like a bigger body, stockier head, things like that. For other dinosaurs, obviously, you've got to have... Now, I wouldn't have the Velociraptor here. I don't even think I'd have the Indoraptor here. So, there is something that is a raptor, considered raptor-like, even though it's not technically a true raptor, but you could have it. And that is Maip Macrothorax, the Shadow of Death, which is part of the Megaraptorid family. They're not true raptors, they just look raptor-like. Maip Macrothorax is one of the largest of the Megaraptids, and Maip, I think, would be a cool addition. And they did have a Megaraptor in there. It was just a blown-up version of the JP Raptor. So I would have it that maybe this Maip Macrothorax, you could have it be a little genetically altered and give him like the raptor claws on the bottom of his feet, so something like that. Obviously, you bring back the Giga, but this time around you make him like Jurassic Park, or like Jurassic World Dominion Giga. You bring in you bring back the Carcharodontosaurus. You bring back the Acrocanthosaurus. You bring back the Allosaurus. You even bring in like Carnotaurus. As for like herbivores, you got Stegosaurus and Kylosaurus, Triceratops, Styracosaurus. I would even put in a sauropod, like maybe Amagasaurus would be a cool one. Now, I know another thing we have to really discuss is like size difference. I think this would be like a big thing. Like, I wouldn't have in Warpath, a lot of the dinosaurs looked equal in size, and I think it was just to be like a lot of them were, with a few exceptions, there were a few dinosaurs that weren't exactly like as big as the others were. Everyone was kind of equal height, even though realistically that isn't the case. So here's what I would do, is that I would have them be size accurate to how we saw them in the movie. But the thing is, those dinosaurs, depending on the sizes, would have different perks. So let's say you're having the T-Rex go up against the Carnotaurus. Well, the T-Rex obviously is going to be more of the tankier character, but the T-Rex is going to be slower but heavier hits, whereas the Carnotaurus is going to be able to like dodge and weave out of the way. Like, you can move in and do quick hits on the others, but at the same time, your dinosaur, like the smaller dinosaur, if it's hit, like it takes a certain hit, it's gonna lose a little more health than usual because it's fighting a bigger predator or a bigger animal. I'd also have, like, there are vital points on the dinosaurs that you can hit to deal more damage. As for, like, who else would be part of this roster, definitely have the Indominus. I would have, the Indominus Rex would be part of this new edition of this version. Because if you were not going to have Indoraptor, you got to have at least the I think the game would definitely, if you brought this game back, it would bring back the Indominus Rex. As for, like, I could see, again, Ankylosaurus, I can see, maybe even it would be kind of cool, like, to get, like, bonus characters or DLC characters. You could have, like, animals from the Eocene era, or the Pleistocene era. You can have, like, bring in a mammoth, like bring in a woolly mammoth as a DLC character. I would even have, like, maybe a hell pig. That would be cool. Or a giant, or, like, the Glyptodon, or a what's its name? A woolly rhino, but that's not what I'm thinking of. The Megatherium, the giant ground sloth. So those could be some cool like bring in some prehistoric mammals for others. I would not have flying dinosaurs or sea dinosaurs. I think I would make them like part of the stages. Let's actually talk about the stages. The stages for this game would be multiple, like, so there's so many cool places you could put this game and bring it to new light in this universe. For one stage, I would have the T-Rex paddock from Jurassic Park. Have it raining. You could you'd have like destructible areas, much like in the original Warpath game. There were parts in the levels in the stages where you could slam your opponent, grab your opponent with your teeth, slam them against the wall, break that. You could also like have destructible objects. One of those destructible objects in this paddock would be you destroy the restroom and see Gennaro there like freaking out. You can eat people like in the original Warpath game. I would bring back you can eat people. If you're a carnivore, you eat them and get health. If you're a herbivore, you stomp them and you get health. So that would be one. The T-Rex paddock would be one stage. Next stage, I would have the streets of San Diego. Obvious reference to Jurassic World. Excuse me, not Jurassic World, The Lost World. The aviary from JP3. Bring that in. Oh, also, you gotta have the Spinosaurus. You gotta have the I totally forgot. Yeah, let's have the fucking Spinosaurus in this game, too. Why not? That's a fan favorite. For Jurassic World, I would have the Plaza from Jurassic World. I even have the Indominus Rex pen. For Fallen Kingdom, probably Mount Sibo. Dominion, Dominion can go fuck itself. I would definitely if this game was coming out like post Rebirth, I would probably say like those temples like we saw in the leaks, and probably a few other stages as well. But yeah, I would definitely I would make this an M-rated game. I would make this a totally M-rated game where dinosaurs can get like you can tear off chunks of your opponent. You could do like something like an X-ray, like in Mortal Kombat, where if a dinosaur like bites a vital organ, it crushes it and deals more damage. Or if you're like a herbivore, say like a Ankylosaurus, just whacking someone in the leg in the right spot, it does like an MK X-ray move and just busts that leg, and now your opponent's just kind of like more like wobbling a bit. Or like if you're a ceratopsian, like Triceratops, if you stab them in the right ribs or something, it like just shatters those ribs. Just make it like the original Warpath game. Just make it like Jurassic Park Mortal Kombat. I think that would be the best. I think that's just the best idea. Also, just saying, I think and this would probably never happen because of rights, or maybe it could because this character is kind of in their wheelhouse as like a fun DLC character. Since we're all about guest characters these days, Universal. I would, if they do this as a game, like let's say they actually make this as like a legit, honest-to-God game, I would absolutely fucking lose it if they brought in the Peter Jackson Kong, because that's their Kong, and use him as a DLC character in this game, and actually have like the sound effects from the original the original 2006 video game, which that game is goated. Yeah, that one I'm thinking a little too far ahead, but I think this game, you can introduce new dinosaurs, you can introduce some classic favorites, even like introduce some maybe even do some cool skins that are references to both the books and the other games, like the Carnotaurus skin. You could give one of the skins be like the chameleon look from Lost World Jurassic Park and the Jurassic Park arcade shooter. There's so much you can do with this game. And again, fighting games always sell. Fighting games are always great sellers. And in this day and age, a dinosaur fighting game, while Warpath itself got thrown under the radar, and yes, it did have its flaws, I think if you brought this game back, polished it up, gave it a bigger roster, and gave it some more places, some more stages, some modern day stages, some fun shit, I think you have a solid game. I think you have a solid fighting game for Jurassic World fans. Even if and you're like, well, what's the story? Well, Warpath didn't have a story. This would be more like, I would say, like, kind of like make it in the vein of like Primal Rage, maybe. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of the idea of a new version of Jurassic Park Warpath? Do you guys like the idea? Do you guys hate the idea? What dinosaurs, both herbivore and carnivore, would you want in this game? And what stages would you want to see from out the movies? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.